All right, this is Grandfather. Now, continuing with 2013 predictions. And this really covers the latter half of 2012 as well. I've spoken about this in the past, but I'm going to continue. As I've said in the past, you're going to be seeing things. And, of course, UFOs, yes. But there will also be other things. You will begin to see something that is like a quick flash for some of you. It may be light, it might just be an image. It might even seem to be in shadow, meaning not dark, but sort of a passive view. If you've ever seen a silhouette, something like that, only lighter colored. It may not be moving, it might. This is a overlay, most likely having to do with the civilization that will follow the civilization that you have established here on Earth. You are moving, literally, as living beings and a living planet and everybody on it. You are moving between dimensions now. Literally moving from what is called the third dimension to the fourth dimension. And as such, being right about in the middle, sometimes closer to 3.56, but generally speaking in the middle, you are able to see things that you would normally see as your spirit self or as your soul self. I don't want you to be frightened, all right? Nothing that you see will harm you in any way, but it will actually, at the very deepest level, remind you that you are soul and you are spirit before you are physical form. It's like this when you are born as a baby from mom, all right? For the first few months, you are totally in touch with your soul and spirit self, and sometimes not that much in touch with your physical world. And you see all manner of things. You see your angels and guides. Very often you'll see friends from other lives who will stop by to visit you and encourage you in some benevolent way. If a person was sensitive, another physical person, and they were able to see things, they might see what baby sees as points of light, all right? Or sometimes fleeting images. So if you are seeing things like that around babies, just know that this is baby communicating with soul, meaning its own soul, to spirit, meaning the overall spirit of lives and creator, angels, guides, and so on. Don't stare if you're seeing it. If you see it, just acknowledge it. You can say good life. You can say a little prayer if you want to. But look away, because it's meant for interacting with baby. It cannot harm you, but it could distract baby from interacting with very important teachers, guides, angels, and so on. All right, just a tip for those of you who see these things. Now, some of you will actually intentionally want to see these things. And if you do, for some reason, perhaps you are reassuring the parents, perhaps you are doing a reading of some sort, it's all right to take a quick look, meaning a split second. So, if you see something like that, then close your eyes and memorize what you saw and look away. That's how to do that. That way it doesn't interfere. While at the same time, you will have enough of an impression so that you can speak using your inspiration to those who are consulting you. All right? Just a little something extra for those of you who do these things. Now, For those of you who just are in studies that are spiritual, or happen to be very spiritual people in practice, or simply as a part of your life, then know this. You are likely to see more. You might see colors, all right? Not like a rainbow, although sometimes it will remind you of that. You will see perhaps circles or shapes of light, sometimes moving. Sometimes you will see something and it will literally blink out as if someone turned off the light. And then it will blink closer to you or further away. If you welcome it, it might come closer. So I would recommend this as a cautionary note. You can also, in that situation, close your eyes and say good life. If you feel like making a greeting, you can say a small prayer. You can welcome it, whatever you want to do, but don't look at it and welcome it, because you might distract that light being, or it might get confused, because all physical human beings radiate a certain amount of light, and it might be drawn to you feeling that welcoming energy and getting the impression of that light. This is not that important except for lights that you see that are purple. Purple lights are almost always lights of recently passed over beings, not just having passed over, meaning died, not just having done it, but usually coming back with a guide or an angel, because they're allowed to look around for some reason, or perhaps briefly visit loved ones, something like that. So it's particularly important that you might say, give them their space, and you don't stare at them, all right? Because that can distract them. They're still at that point of their existence where they can be distracted by earth physical life. But if it's any other color, this shouldn't be an issue, all right? So, there's that. There might be other things that you will see. Sometimes you will see vertical light or horizontal light. And if it's a color that is safe, meaning, say, for example, green, meaning a lighter green perhaps, or blue, or something like that, then it's fine to look at that for a little longer. Don't stare, but you can look at it for a few seconds, close your eyes, and memorize it if you want to, meaning try to remember what you saw. You'll have to be cautious with red light. Red light is very often associated with earth energy. This is a form of Mother Earth's physical, spiritual self sometimes. And at other times it is light beings coming to help some aspect of Mother Earth. And if you stare at it, the energy can be overwhelming to you, uncomfortable at the very least, and can be, because of that light you unconsciously broadcast, attracted to you. So the energy will be too much for you. If you know how to clear yourself, then I recommend doing a clearing after seeing something like that. Or even after seeing some purple light being, all right? And when I say purple light being, I mean some kind of shape. It'll usually be a circle, something like that, all right? But generally speaking, blue or white or gold or light green, colors like that are perfectly all right. And you can stare at them, but they will undoubtedly not be visible to you for a lengthy amount of time, just for a few seconds. Okay? So, I'm bringing these things to your attention because while some of you are having the experience now, in 2012, in 2013 and beyond, this experience will become much more of a frequent event for all beings on the planet for a long time. Some non-human beings have been able to see these things and will often stare at them and interact with them spiritually. Cats of all sizes and shapes can do this. I might add that dogs can do it, but they don't necessarily interact with them. They'll just notice them. Sometimes you might see a dog quickly flick its eyes in the direction of something where you can't see anything. They're usually seeing a spirit, a guide, or an angel, and it will be in the form of a light being, some shape of light, you understand? But dogs are very clear that they are here to interact with human beings, to help you, to guide you, and to support you. And sometimes just to help you to have fun and try to lighten up. They're very conscious of that duty. They're good at it, and I'm sure you love them for it. Now, one more thing. As I've said before, there's going to be earth changes. And that's just an ongoing phenomenon. It's happened for the past few thousand years. It will continue to happen. Some of you, when there is, say, a hurricane, or a typhoon, or a cyclone, as it's called, in other words, or an impending, meaning could happen at any moment, earthquake, something like that, might see a flash of light before that takes place. And it could happen from anywhere from a few seconds before the event, say in the case of an earthquake, or it could happen as much as a few minutes before. If you see a flash of light, don't automatically assume that's what it means. Sometimes you will see flashes of light having to do with light beings, even your guide or possibly even creator blessing you in some way. But about 20 to 50% of the time, it will herald some kind of event associated with earth changes. Those of you who are more practiced in seeing things, you will be able to discern what the flash of light is associated with. What goes with what, all right? Those of you who are new to that will have to just experiment and sort of find your way around the phenomena. So, I want to let you know about these things because they might literally be a portion of what is normal for you in your soul state of being and certainly in your spirit state of being. But it's not normal for you in your physical earth state of being. However, since you are moving between dimensions, it will become normal and even a regular experience as you continue on towards the fourth dimension. All right, that's enough for this time. Good life.